All right. Welcome back to 80 days. Uh, this game just starts right away. What did it say? Please let me read it. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Okay. And we can actually stay here. Please wake up. Yeah. Found our hotel to be very appointed, and we're glad of it. We are. We're. Something is missing. Because of the streets outside became fearfully cold as night fell. It is a wonder people can live in such a chilly place. There is something beautiful to this bleak city. I don't know, pick one. Doesn't matter. From the way he turned his head, it was clear that Monsieur Fogg found my remark distasteful. Okay, what's his problem? Let's go to Warsaw. Embark. Let's embark. Go. Come on, we don't have time for this. Day 7. We're almost at 10% of our blah 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 blah. And we've gone like what in percentage? How much of the circumference have we gone? Like 2%? We're still in like middle of Europe. Promptly and without fuss. Okay. News. Phileas Fogg attempts round the world adventure. Is that the news? Okay. The ferry left Stockholm and its mighty buildings behind and took off into quiet water. I passed the time on deck. Eavesdrop. Every time eavesdrop. Option our next journey. I fell into remarkably energetic Turkish madame. I had a pleasant if unproductive conversation, whom I quickly abandoned as knowing nothing. Okay. But by nightfall, we reached the coastline at Gdansk and transferred to a little carriage that trundled, weird word, us the last few miles into Warsaw. Okay, some of our possessions would trade well here. Well, we can't. Hotel. No, we should have planned maybe. We walked the streets of Warsaw feeling the air of a different continent. We were on the same continent, sure. All around, in less than 2 generations, the Tsar had made this little outpost all their own. But there were signs of dissent on every corner. Eh, in the city were glued pamphlets declaring the Russian to be dogs, fiends, Philistines. Yeah, let's turn back before we get stabbed. Our fears were probably unfounded, however, for all the printed material we saw no disturbances. It seems all the revolutionary times have been. Let's pick that one. In fact, our host told us later that the pamphlets themselves are produced by machines buried by the rebels during the Troubles. No one has yet found them to switch them off. Ah, let's explore. We have nothing to do. Okay, we can go to Minsk. Oh, fuck. I encountered an incredible creature, as tall as a house, with wide swinging metal arms like a rampaging giant. I stared, I hid, I fled. I stared, of course, gulping at the terrible machine stomped from foot to foot, slowing, rotating. It's also weird. And then I saw that in its chest was a man using levers, I don't know which one. and switches to operate the colossal device. It was gigantic, walking exoskeleton. He operated a small lever in each hand, which seemed to articulate the metal creature's arms. It was all entirely mechanical, but amplified his own movements and looked so organic. He smashed a nearby wall, and I jumped clear. Well, he's just ruining the city then. Let's wave at him. And he looked down and tipped his cloth cap. What is this thing? Are you safe up there? How does it work? It's a Hadunki, he said, from Novorossiysk. They've shipped a few in to help us with the building work. From Novorossiysk, are you safe? It's a small town on the far side of the Black Sea, he replied. I don't know why they have a surplus of these things there. He pulled the lever and the machine drew back a massive arm. There are two levers for each hand, and they work on ball sockets. I'd let you try, sir, but I must get on with my work. He drew the drawn back arm smashed into a wall, and the building fell into a cloud of dust. I jumped back. Excuse me, my friend called, but I must get back to work. What an incredible sight. Market. Let's go to the market. There you go. Sold. There you go. Sold. And let's leave. Depart. Budapest. Are we going the Russian way? Fuck, I was trying to avoid that. From Milan to Minsk. I mean, stop time. Stop time. Let's go. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Negotiate. Embark. We're doing the Russian way. Day 8. We clambered aboard the train. Monsieur Fogg settled in a far corner like a dusty old uncle, and I pressed my nose against the glass. Yeah, I don't care about him anymore. He's been annoying as fuck. Watching the bleak countryside roll past, trains are such marvelous contraptions. I could have been an engine driver myself, I think, if I weren't so dreadfully clumsy, if I wasn't such dreadfully clumsy. You're clumsy. Ah, shit, I shouldn't have picked that. Strangely, perhaps I had found my fingers and thumbsness quite of benefit working in the circus, my previous occupation. I think it lent me a certain comedic timing. I don't know. I think it kept me away from the more mechanical performances. I don't know, man. Where I would surely have wound up being with a broken neck or a pierced lung. Okay, why did he like that? Talk to me, boy. Oh, who are you? Greetings, mademoiselle. Good evening. Minsk. Let's talk about Minsk. I'm very interested in Minsk. Here's something you can get to Odessa from Minsk in the passenger carriage, but the fare is expensive. How about Moscow? One can also travel this way to Moscow, I understand. You mentioned trains. I've been told Omsk is connected to Vladivostok by rail, but the fare is over £2,000. I don't know, just press buttons. I'm not reading this, man. Pyongyang. Goodbye. I should have picked my words more carefully, or my options. We arrived at Minsk after nightfall and disembarked. Let's plan. Okay, we can go to Odessa, and from Odessa we need to take a ship to like, I don't know, Istanbul or Novorossiysk. Or we go the continue the train ship. From Yokohama we need to find like a ship across to the US and then but for now let's do the Trans-Siberian Rail. Blah 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 blah. Arrives at Sunday. 4 days? Lol, I'm not waiting 4 days. Wowza, no way, dude. Back. Odessa, how about you? In 3 days, negotiate. Tomorrow, 2K. Is it worth it? Let's try it. We're going to Odessa. 12, 12 at noon. Wake up. A very cold newspaperman offered me a sip of Turkish coffee at a tram stop in Minsk. My grandfather was French, he said blandly. Then we are compatriots. Was he a German? I don't think so. He spat onto the ground vehemently. I did not know him. He was one of Napoleon's soldiers. Minsk was occupied by the Grenadier Armée during the invasion. He did not speak in a particular accusative tone, but any words I tried to say in reply coagulated at the back of my throat. I managed to choke out. Yes, war is unfortunate business, and yet, he sighed, I am here, so there is that. He gestured to his cup. You are traveling? With a shrug, he nodded. I see. Well, he glanced down at his coffee cup. If I were traveling, I know where I would choose to go. Well, I'm on timer. That's why. And where is that? Tehran, he replied to my surprise. An unusual choice, he laughed bitterly and tapped the newspaper under his arm. When I was younger, I knew a woman called Lina Palkala, a Finnish girl. She became a dancer. Now she passed herself off as a Slavic and has just been signed up to dance exclusively in Tehran. I am sure I will never see her again, but if I could, I would try. You forget I work in the newspaper, he replied. She is traveling quite quietly by airship from November in a few days, and that's not all. Her name is now Marina Poltakvak. Who cares? Our tram whizzed into the stop, and the conductor opened the doors. The newspaper man boarded. Enjoy your coffee, he added without looking in my direction. I don't know, man. I decided to wait for the next tram, but my dreams that night were haunted by cavalry and cannon and soldiers with smiles like sabers. Okay, we need to depart, man. We don't have much money. Didn't we already pay for this? We paid 2K for this. I'm not paying again. They took more money from me. We're about to go broke. I boarded a steam carriage to Odessa with some trepidation. We're clearly well tended by the carriage driver. The thought of being locked up for 2 days like some kind of prisoner filled me with dread. There was space for two in the back. My master took the seat on the left, the seat in front of the exhaust pipe, while I took the seat on the right, which placed a tall stovepipe exhaust just behind my head, ready to burn me if I should by some miracle manage to fall asleep. And we're off. The horses pawed at the ground with cyclic motions, and the wheels under the carriage began to turn in time to the shuffling of the engine. Our cash reserve seems to be running low. Yeah, cool. Worthless. Why am I doing this for you? Why am I not just taking this bet on my own? I'm doing everything. I've heard these steam-powered carriages referred to as bone rattlers, not just because they are used to carry the bodies of the fallen back from various battlegrounds of Europe for interment. This particular carriage suffered from especially bad suspension, only seeming to realize when we paused to stretch our legs that he was quite severely bruised on the lower parts. Did not curse or complain. He did, however, put out one delicate hand for support as he stepped to the curb. I felt a savage amusement. I don't care about him. We're becoming homeless any day now. As we returned to our steam carriage for the second day of our journey, all but wept, maintained steady composure. My poor posterior had not yet recovered from the previous day in the dread bone rattle. My master appeared. Okay, apparently that was the wrong choice. He took exhaust pipe seat by choice. Either he is being generous to his poor troubled valet, or perhaps he does not enjoy the cold of the open road. Still, a stroke of luck befell us on the outskirts of our destination. The carriage passed a man with his thumb stuck out and... Is he going to give me money? Give me money. And he was on his way to Istanbul by hydrofall to join the riots. Riots? Rubbing his hand. I like a good riot, but why are they rioting? He shrugged. I'm not sure, but I hear they are getting bloodier by the day. With that, he sat back and smiled and closed it. Rah, 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 rah. Give us money, man. We need money. Market. Bank? What can we do? We must visit the bank, Monsieur Fogg. I am a gentleman. They would extend me the credit if I required, he replied. But do you suppose I put my entire fortune in a carpet bag under your supervision? I did not answer. The bank we entered, a small, sweaty man who greeted us with charming professionalism. You wish to withdraw funds, we were told. I warn you, it may take some time. Thursday. Ah. Communicate London first, of course. He apologized. I should have a reply by tomorrow. It seems Monsieur Fogg Market has left. We have some time to dispose of. Okay, so let's go to the market. Yeah, that's it. Hotel. Cold spell. Blah blah blah. The city could almost be Mediterranean if Black Sea and seems to fill your bones with ice water. Our hotel lay at the top of an enormous staircase on which we found several locals sitting and locals, not locales, sitting and talking and sipping from shared Carafes, a clear liquid that I do not believe was water. The mood was pensive. We are visitors, I said. By way of greeting, Monsieur Fogg hung back, taking in the surroundings rather than looking at the people themselves. Best site is the one you're standing on, one remarked, while another lifted a vodka bottle, holding it up to his eyes like a telescope. The best views here are through the bottom of a bottle. All my life, stranger, all my life. You like a drink? One of the soaps asked me. I felt my master's attention turn upon me. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's explore. Then we go to the bank. We need to go to Istanbul. It took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Come on, open up. There we go. Return to the bank at the opening time to collect our funds, and then we were ready to proceed. Okay, depart. We're not going back to Moscow. That would be stupid. "4 days? 3 days? Still no. This is cheap though. Sunday? I mean, let's go. We don't have anything. Minus 21? No, we're waiting. You know what? We can go back to the bank and get even more money if we're gonna wait that much. Yeah, there we go. That's on Monday. When could we leave for Istanbul? Yeah, see, we have time. So, what are we doing until then? That's the question. We can go to the market, see if we can buy something. Let's get some stuff, just like that. And another 2 days to wait for our transfers of funds. So we made ourselves comfortable and waited. There we go. Plan. This is today, right? Don't give me any other. Ooh, tomorrow, good. Whew. Then we can get the funds. Just come on, open. Can I make the time to go faster? There we go. Collected our funds. Yeah, we're done here. Let's just see. So we're not tomorrow before 12. Oh, wait. Departs for Istanbul tomorrow before noon. Yeah. Time to wake up. Yeah. We need to go. Depart. Istanbul. Whoop. And back. took such a stupid road. We went up north and then back south instead of just going east all the time east. The Hadjerfall was a similar design to the one we had taken north out of Amsterdam. A grizzled type invited us aboard. Easy enough, for my balance is excellent, but poor Monsieur Fogg had a rather more ungentlemanly experience, lifted up and handed to a burly sailor as though he was a sack of grain. We found our seats around the perimeter of the craft, then they turned on the engines. "It's noisy," shouted the grizzled man, who had leapt aboard with a painter in his hand, "but fast." I closed my eyes, did not see the moment to take off, but when I peeked a few seconds later, we were levitating across the mirror glass surface of the Black Sea, traveling at terrific speed. News: Fog Valley, Dapper, full report. Can I read that, or did I just misclick, or is it only the headline? The vessel did not actually levitate, of course. It sat on the surface of the water. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have picked that. Slowly, wildly bouncing up and down as it came. When we stepped off the craft, we all but fell down. Okay. At least we're here now. Some of our possession will fetch a few pounds here. Well, we need to sleep. Worse yet, I was in the forbidden women's apartment of Topkapi Palace. How did you enter the palace? Had no memory of the previous night. Noisy Armenian tavern, many cups of raki, the unexpectedly potent local liquor, a smiling Greek merchant telling me of the incomparable mosaic of the harem of Topkapi Palace, home of the wives of coal-eyed concubines of the Sultan. But men are forbidden in the harem, he warned, on pain of death. I had not the good sense to refuse, curse my weakness for a fine mosaic. I bartered for a costume, reasoning that I could disguise myself as a repair woman. As noticeable as I sneaked in, even in my drunken stupor, I somehow managed to scale a wall and skulk into the palace complex from one of the more remote gardens. The guards paid me little mind in their battered silks. My escape was similarly acrobatic. Suffice to say, I emerged intact into the gentle mid-morning sun, wearing a thoroughly rumpled suit of lady's silks. Back at the lodgings, he looked up and blushed a most violent shade of red as he took in my attire, setting his cup down with uncharacteristic force. Words. Okay. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Sultan Ahmed, in the shadow of the glorious minarets of the Blue Mosque, I had some hours before I turned to finding myself attracting some entertaining attention in my flashing silks. Street vendors selling everything from Turkish leather slippers, dried fruits and nuts, and stagnant peppermints. The vendors call on la 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 la. We are protesting against the Sultan's so-called modernization, a young medical student told me. The time of absolute monarchy is over, sister. Don't call me sister. I pulled my veil even more securely around my face as the crowd surged forward, shouting slogans in Arabic and English, and even some well-worn phrases stolen directly from the French Revolution, why not Turkish. Felt quite at home. I spotted an empty side street. Again, I waited till the crowd passed, but I was soon not alone. The student had followed my lead. You should be protesting, I protested, somewhat alarmed at the situation I now found myself in. Let me tell you about this protest, he said with passion. Come with me. No, this is becoming weird. In the square. Yeah, we're done. We're done with that. Ah, see, I thought that was perfect. Buy this. Can never go wrong with that. There we go. Now let's check where we can go. Ooh, this is a good one. This is ooh. Wednesday arrives. Why is it yellow then? Okay, it's just a really long. Well, I mean, go. Kamertaj, a gigantic iron horse, reared from the prow of Istanbul-Tehran Express, billowing gouts of steam from its nostrils. The Kamertaj was but where even the most luxurious European trains sacrificed weight for efficiency, it was a matter of some pride that the Kamertaj engines used a carefully guarded new Persian design, supposedly capable of achieving a top speed of 75 miles per hour. Truly, we live in an age of wonder, unimaginable to our ancestors, ever since I came into Mr. Fogg's employ. I had experienced more than my share of marvels, and as the Camertage pulled out of the station, I resolved to savor each and every one. Fog, very good indeed. The first day was short because of our evening departure, so we had just about time to secure our compartment and observe a fellow pet. There we go. Let's go. I am in fine form, but we must make haste. Well, we're trying, shitface. Help out instead of talking. With another long day of foggish calm beckoning, I fell into conversation with thick-built janissary, the unveiled red-haired. Well, if we have to pick, we're picking this one. Eager to talk of engines and gauges and driver diameters. She told me her name was Ksenia Petronova Volkova. I asked her about the Kamartaj. Oh, that is the real mystery, is it not? She laughed and then gave me a challenging look. Do you truly believe the Persians have a revolution in new engines? No. Seems very political, does it not? Ksenia lifted one eyebrow. Everything is political, she told me seriously, before talk shifted into lighter matters. Yeah. Go sleep, man. Famous dancer seen in Aurora heading for Tehran. So are we. Kamertaj stopped for 5 hours at the Iranian border while various uniformed inspectors scrutinized our papers and peered into our faces. I peered right back. Inspection and only reappeared in our compartment as the Kamertaj started to pull beyond the border station. Almost there. Was bristling with uniformed guards who grew more unfriendly as I approached the front of the train. Two taciturn fellows blocked the entrance to the engine car, no doubt guarding the secret new designs from prying eyes. Outside and heard to the window. To my shock, Xenia was hanging from the side of the train. She looked up at me through the wind goggles and lifted an arm to wave and rubber cups, much like those of a squid. As I watched, she determinedly began to sucker her way towards the engine car. By her mad daring, and I stumbled back onto my compartment in a daze. It was at least an hour before Xenia appeared, cheeks ruddy, but otherwise not a hair out of place. She agreed without the slightest hesitation. I was starting to believe I had imagined the whole adventure until she added, particularly the tentacles with those ingenious suckers. Monsieur Fogg looked baffled by the conversational turn, but we exchanged barbed repartee until all too soon the Kamertaj pulled into the Tehran station. Unsurprisingly, the red-haired adventuress had disappeared. By the time I gathered up our bags, but by then I was too entranced by the sights and smells of the ancient city of Tehran, capital of the Kingdom of Iran. All right. Whew. This game, man, you have to read so much. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I think this is it for today. At least we came a bit more east this time and not that much north and south. So yeah, we're 25% of the journey done, but not 25% of the distance. So this is bad, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.